So let me just move us, and hopefully this is, okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do is share some quick, unique networking techniques. And this is some of the techniques that I share and some of the strategies I share in my networking boot camp. So it's called Who Knows You? Because a lot of people tell me it's not what you know, but who you know. But I didn't say who you know. I said who knows you. Because the key is to get people to know you. What do you bring into the table? What difference are you making? That's where the connection takes off. So I'm going to teach you some quick techniques on doing that. So you're going to be receiving workbooks, and I see those being handed out right now. I didn't want to give those to you too early because I didn't want you to know how hard you were going to work. So you're about to work really hard right now. All right? You all right with that? Yeah. All right, because you wouldn't be here, right? All right. So you have your notebooks, and you are going to use those. And we're going to do this in about 15 minutes. So let me just kind of share with you a little bit about what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to transform from networking. So we're not going to do no networking tonight. And transition into connecting. Because there is a big difference. Networking is just about exchanging information. I give you my business card, you give me your resume. And then what happens? But connecting is about investing in a relationship. And that's when it pays off. Now, I've been in business for 10 years. And when I learned how to build connections versus networking, because I started out networking, my business took off. Because you build relationships. And it requires a commitment. It requires you to care about that person. And most importantly, it requires you to invest in that relationship. So we're going to learn how to do that. So we're going to transition to networking. So what I want to do, I want my slides to work. So we're going to do a boot camp. In our mission, we have 3 areas that we're going to focus on, okay? We're going to talk about finding your eligibility. Now, we're going to look at this think about it like when you're dating and you're looking to start a relationship, right? So you know how they have eligible bachelors, eligible bachelorettes. So we're going to talk about, in order to build a connection and build a relationship, you have to be bringing something, just like in a relationship. So we're going to talk about how do you evaluate your eligibility. Secondly, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to build a foundation of that relationship. And then we're going to round out by learning how to commit and keep the relationship warm, to keep the connection warm. So are you ready for that? Yeah. Okay, you all are getting deep. Okay, so with that in mind, we're going to do 2-minute drills because we don't have a lot of time tonight. So 2-minute drills means that you're going to have to listen to the instructions. That means you're going to have to move very quickly. And then at the end of the 2 minutes, we're going to let you know that it's time to shift. DJ Lowe will make a sound and we're going to transition. So we're going to have to do this quickly. So I'm kind of giving you a heads up with that. So while he's doing that, what we're going to do is take out your notebooks. You're going to open it up, get your pens. Ooh, you all are good students. All right, you got your pens out already. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to find out, are you eligible? And I know you are because you wouldn't be here. But we're going to want you to think about what are you bringing to that relationship. So what I want you to do is, first of all, I want you to think about what do you do best? Everyone in this room does something better than anyone else. What do you do best? That's one of your big ticket items. And then I also want you to talk about your top 3 attributes, okay? Top 3 attributes. And then lastly, your proudest accomplishment, because that's your track record, right? You bring that to a relationship. So take some time. We're going to give you 2 minutes to do that and really dig deep and think about what do I do best, my top 3 attributes, and my proudest accomplishment. So take some time to do that. Let's move forward to the next thing we're going to do. Now, when you're looking for a relationship, I've always learned that when you find the best person when you're not looking, right? And the same thing happens when you're looking for a job. I always tell you, you find the best job when you're not looking, right? And so that's what we want to do right now is build a connection without an expectation. Meet people without expectation. That's the best way to build a connection. Don't go because you need a job. You're going out and looking for business or clients and things like that. Just go out and build connections. So what I want you to do is I want you to pair with, and let me go through the instructions, and I'm going to ask you to do this. I want you to pair it with someone you don't know in this room. and really pick someone you don't know, okay? And then what I want you to do is I want you to introduce yourself, your name. And then I also want you to talk about why are you here, what made you come out tonight. And then lastly, share your favorite food, right? Because I don't want it to be about anything. So we're going to just pick something generic. We all have to eat, right? So share your favorite food. So are you ready to do that? So stand up, find someone you don't know. You may want to take your things because you are going to sit next to that person for the next couple of things.
All right, we got about 25 seconds.
All right, so how did that feel? Just talking without no expectations, no agenda. So it feels different, right? To talk with someone, speak with someone without an agenda, right? So, all right, so you all are doing great. Let's move to the next thing we're going to do. Now we're going to talk about building a foundation. Now you've made your introductions, you didn't have an agenda, so now we're going to build a foundation to a relationship, okay? So what we're going to do is find some common interests. So you can either talk to the person that you just met, or if you want to mix it up and change someone, but I would suggest you, because we're building a relationship now, so the person you just met. So what I want you to do is ask questions in the next 2 minutes until you find something you have in common. And you can find more than one thing. If you happen to find 2 or 3, that's even great. But at least one thing in 2 minutes. So ask each other questions until you find something you have in common, okay? And if that commonality could be not work-related, not business-related. Not work-related or business-related. Got that? All right, let's do it. So how did that feel? How many of you found something in common in 2 minutes by show of hands? All right. How many of you found more than one thing? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. So, my point is it only took 2 minutes to find something in common. And those are the best relationships. Those are the best connections. When you have something in common, it's built upon something that has nothing to do with work or your business, right? It's the same thing if you were in a personal relationship, right? So you build it on something in common. All right, so now you have that. So we're going to move on to the next thing. We're going to talk about the commitment now. This is where the work comes in. This is where the work really comes in, right? When you are committed to a relationship, you're willing to invest in it, right? So what I want you to do is now with your new friend, you already have your foundation going. What I want you to do is to commit. So how are you going to stay connected? I want you to talk about that. Now, you can exchange business cards. You can talk about connecting on LinkedIn, or this is something you could do even after that you've met your friend. And then how are you going to stay in touch? And this is where most of us fall short. Most of us know how to go out. Most of us know how to connect with people, or sometimes people network. But where we fall short is keeping the commitment, because that's where the time is involved. So now I want you to take 2 minutes to talk about how are you going to stay connected. Right. All right. So you feel good about your commitment? All right. I can tell by the way you're talking. Some of you are still talking. So you've been committed to the relationship. How did that feel? I love that up there. It says either you're in or you're out. There's no such thing as life in between. Okay. So lastly, in this relationship building. All right. So now you made the commitment. Now what you have to make sure is that the connection is about mutual benefit. Because the best connections are where both people benefit from the connection, not just one-sided. Just like in a relationship, there's this one person given, eventually that relationship will fizzle out, most likely, right? So it's about mutual benefit. Both parties have to benefit from the connection, or else it's kind of a waste, right? Just like any relationship. So when we talk about that, I want you to think about this. Now, remember when you wrote what you do best? Now, I should have told you you're going to have to share that. So you need to change your answer. You may want to do that quickly. But so what I want you to do now with your new friend is share what you do best with them. And then ask them how you can help them, whatever it is that they're trying to achieve. Because if you give first, you get much more back in return. So learning about what you have to offer, so what you do best, maybe they can't use it, but maybe they know someone who can. Or maybe they can use something from you that has nothing to do with what you do best. But share it with them anyway, what you do best, and then how can you help them? Okay, so how can I help you? All right, everybody got that? 2 minutes to do that. Okay, so we're going to have you wrap that part up. So, I'm going to seek a volunteer. Does anybody feel willing and open enough to share what you just shared? Anybody want to share? And it can be any of the things that we talked about in building that relationship. And I saw that hand goes up, so yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, please. If you wouldn't mind standing up.
As we were doing what our coach instructed us to do, I shared what I did best with Miss Selena, and coincidentally, what she did best was also something that was a mutual thing that we both would benefit from. So as I was saying that I like to coordinate style a lot, so Miss Shalina was telling me that she is looking to be styled for certain events or certain things that may come up in her life. So that worked out really good for both of us. In the same aspect, her being a photographer worked out good for me and me and my sister's business that we have. So it was a win-win situation, and it was more than just one mutual thing that we had in common.
Excellent, excellent. Let's give them a round of applause. And now if they first came out looking at what they were looking for, it may have changed the relationship. They built it up. There's maybe one more. Anybody else want to share? All right here. So if we can get them the mic. Excellent.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Jennifer. I'm going to turn around. My partner here is Donovan. He might be a little different because he doesn't have on red and he's not a girl. So this is fun. I share with him what I do best, which is brainstorming and planning. So I asked him about his business, and essentially it's all the way at the bottom. He's starting from the bottom, trying to figure it out. And I said, that is awesome, because I'm like an analyst by nature, and I like to build things and help people. So I decided what I'll do is to help Donovan with business cards, brochures, figure out how to do his website, do all that good stuff. And I have no problem with doing that because I'm a natural helper. So it benefits us both.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Excellent. Did you want to say anything? You good? All right. Hey, he's smart. He's like, hey, that was a good one. That was a good pitch for me, so I'm good. Your son? Oh, I did not. Oh, my goodness. We got a family thing going on. All right. Small world. All right, so how did that feel? Now, you can take these techniques with you. You can use them for the rest of the evening. You can use them beyond tonight to help you build connections. The best way to build a connection is to go out without any expectations. Just go out to meet people, meet friends. That's what I say. I'm going out to meet friends. Trust me, whatever it is that you're working towards will come back to you. Just go out and meet friends. All right, so let me just close out real quickly with this. We're going to just share with you just a few networking pitfalls, just real quickly, so that you know you don't fall into these traps. Number one, connecting with the same circle. Most of us get our comfort zone. We connect with the same people. Just like if you were looking for someone fresh in a relationship, after a while it gets stale. You don't get anything new. So don't connect with the same people or the same circle. Number two, connecting only when you need something. Connecting only in need. There's nothing worse for me. I haven't heard from someone in 100 years, and then all of a sudden they need a job, and they call me, and they want me to pass their resume around. I'm like, girl, I didn't even know you were on the planet still. So connecting only when you have a need. People can smell it on you, and it kind of taints the relationship. Next one, asking before giving. And as I stated, give first. Trust me, you will get something back in return. Give, and you'd be surprised what you get back. And then lastly, not following up or following through. I get so many people who say, Jocelyn, I want to meet you. I want to pick your brain. And I'm a talker, so you can pick my brain. But then it's like, we have coffee. We should have lunch. I never hear from them 99% of the time. I just accept them because I know I'm not going to hear from them. Right? I only get people, about 10% of the people actually follow through. So keep that in mind. So those are some of the pitfalls, okay? So hopefully you can take these techniques with you. I know we went through them very quickly. We did 2-minute drills, but you all did a fantastic job, so give yourself a round of applause. All right. So we're going to move forward. I'm going to transition out of my coach hat for a second, and I'm going to do this pretty quickly. So take a little brief break, and I'll be right with you.